preseason, which means a look at RG3 on the practice field. Here he is. We were asking earlier, Lindsey Rhodes was, during our morning inside training camp coverage about the knee brace. No knee brace for RG3 as he gets in his work with the yellow jersey. Please do not touch Robert Griffin III. Please stay away from him and the other quarterbacks. Saw Kirk Cousins there wearing number 12. Jamie, you yesterday, I don't want to say you went after Robert, but you weren't a fan of what he said on the podium, which, to paraphrase, is, I really don't want to play in the preseason. I don't think I'm going to. No one really does like the preseason. Now, granted, we all agree with that.
Right.
But your point was it didn't show good leadership. You're sticking with that, right?
Yeah, absolutely, because think about it this way. Do you think any coach in the National Football League wants any of his team feeling that way, not excited about getting back to work and playing football? I think the answer is no. And so I asked the question again. Have we ever heard in the 15 or 17 years that Tom Brady or Peyton Manning have been in the league, do we have them on tape talking about what a waste of time or how much they hate playing in preseason?
He didn't say hate.
Doesn't want to play. I mean, in watching the tape, clearly he does not want to play in the preseason games. Well, there's a couple of mistakes he made. First of all, the first mistake he made is you let the coach say you're not playing. So you don't put yourself potentially in the crosshairs of the fans, because that's what you don't want to do. The coach is the one who's making the decision. It's not Robert Griffin III or any quarterback putting the coach in a situation where, okay, well, Robert said he's not playing. What do you think?
Well, he did say if the coach wants
to. Well, yeah, but
he said it's up to him.
But it's all that leading up puts the coach in a box, because as opposed to saying, I'll leave it to the coach's decision. Period. End of story. Shut up. That's what should have happened on the decision side of it. Now, as it pertains to the team, again, the coach, the leader of the team, wants players to be exuberant about playing. But you know what? Let's take another look at it. What I know about what they're doing in Washington, they haven't begun to put the entire Shanahan playbook in for RG3. They gave him a limited sampling. So if you haven't mastered all of that, why are you not looking to get as many reps as you can to improve that? And no matter what the two-year guy, the first-year rookie says, you need game speed to be able to execute game activities.
Well, let me ask you this, because we talked about it a lot second half of this, December specifically, when RG3 was first hurt, and we saw Kirk Cousins. He started on the road in Cleveland, beat the Browns, and then RG3 came back a week later, if memory serves.
Right.
We asked the question, as they practiced for that game or any other subsequent game in which they would use both quarterbacks, is it a different offense? How do you plan? How do you game plan? How do you get your team ready? If you don't have RG3 in the field the entire preseason, would you as a coach feel comfortable that your team is sufficiently ready for week one?
No, you're not going to be sufficient, because you know you need the guy who is the quarterback. I think Marshall Faulk made this point earlier today and talking about it. I agree 100%. The guys who are receivers, they need to see this fastball that RG3 has. The velocity between the quarterbacks is different. Breaking plays down, moving around, playing that pickup basketball.
And you can't replicate that in practice.
You cannot replicate, because there's nobody going to – what you started us off with, don't touch the quarterback. So if you ain't no touching the quarterback, then how is a play going to break down in real time for those players to get that pickup basketball thing that happens, in the game, the improvisation that happens? It can only happen in a game when it's a real-life kind of setting situation. And that's the challenge and the issue of not playing. I'm sure if it's health and safety, I'm all for the guy not playing. That's not what I heard. I heard I don't like playing in the preseason game because veteran guys don't like playing in the preseason games. Excuse me, but I'll do it.
I think it was also implied, and I'm not apologizing for the guy, I think it was also implied, I'm not necessarily ready. They don't think I'm ready. And, oh, by the way, no big deal. No one likes the preseason anyway.
I didn't see it that way. I mean, what I saw was, we know the health decision is a health decision. I hear I'm back, I'm ready. The coaches will proceed as they feel they should proceed as far as letting me play. But the sense that I got watching that, he does not want to play in preseason game because he feels they're meaningless games. That's where I draw my criticism. The preseason games do matter because you can't replicate game speed. And I think Big Willie and I was talking about this, Willie McGinnis and I were talking about this just backstage. Here's the problem. That division with the Dallas Cowboys and the Eagles and the Giants, it's a 9-7 team that gets it.
It has been the last 2 years.
So can you give away potentially a game or a game and a half of trying to catch up to game speed? Can you give that away in that division?
You just assume it's coming down to New Year's Eve.
That's so those are all the things that go through my mind as I look at that. And I say, and again, I hated preseason too. But I also recognize the necessary evil that it was playing in the games against people that hadn't been practicing against me. My level in a game, my level went up. And every player in this league, your game level goes up. And you can't replicate that in practice.
Jamie Dukes may not like the preseason, but he loves inside training camp.
Love it.
I'm speaking for him. And for us.